Hi, I'm Mike Beliveau, and I'm out here at the West Shore Sportsmen's Association. And today I'm going to be sighting in a couple of 1851 Navy revolvers. Now, if you're watching this on Rumble, there's going to be two versions of this. One's going to be labeled the YouTube acceptable version, and the other one's going to be labeled the full version. In the full version, you'll be able to see how I installed higher front sights on the 1851 Navies so that we could get them sighted in. Because as you know, the historical sights that come on them make them shoot incredibly high. So I'm going to show you how to fix that if you care to do it. But I can't show you on YouTube because according to YouTube, modifying a gun by putting new sights on it, that's exactly the same to them as taking an AR-15 and making it full auto. They don't trust you with that kind of dangerous information. I think they're afraid that you'll order a case of Civil War type revolvers, get them shooting to point of aim, and go raid the Capitol or something. I don't know. But whatever it is, can't show you. So you're going to have to go to Rumble and look at that. But I will show you how to take them and sight them in once you've got that new sight on them. So let's take a look at the guns. So the way we're going to sight these guns in is we're going to load them and shoot them, and we should be hitting quite low, and then we're going to file that sight down and shoot it again, and that should have raised the point of impact a little bit, and we're going to keep filing and sighting and shooting until we've got the guns shooting in the bullseye. I'm going to sight in the 7.5-inch barrel Uberti first, so we'll get that loaded up. I'm sighting both guns in with paper cartridges loaded with conical bullets. This is the Colt style bullet. So we're going to put it on half cock so the cylinder turns freely. Going to take a cartridge, get it in the chamber, seat it, and there we go. I'll do one more because I think I was a little off camera on that one. So I'm going to take it in, I'm going to put it in the chamber, get it under the rammer, line it up, and send it down. Now I'll load all 6. So we get the chambers loaded, now we're ready to cap them. I'm using RWS 1075s. And I'm using this capper made by Dustin Winiger of Guns of the West. He's a host of the Guns of the West YouTube channel, and they have a store. And these cappers, I think, are just great. Very easy to use at the range. So, we're still on half cock. Just take this, slide it over the nipple, and we're in business. So we'll just cap all 6 of those and be ready to go. Okay, I'm going to start off with the 7.5-inch Uberti Navy, and I'm going to fire 3 shots, and this will be the first reference group, so that I start filing the sight down. So I'm just going to see where we're placing on paper, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, got a beautiful group. We're about 2 feet low, but good for windage. So now it's time to start adjusting that sight. Okay, so I've got the barrel off of the gun. I mounted it in a vise. I put a little duct tape on the barrel to protect the finish. And now I'm going to file this down. And since this is the first time, I got a lot of room to go. I'm going to take 10 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to turn around 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm gonna reduce this hump here a little bit, just while I'm in there. I'm not gonna try to do that to too fine a degree because obviously we have a lot to go. Okay, well, let's see where that gets us. Okay, I'm about to fire the second 3 rounds out of the 7.5-inch Uberti. I took 10 strokes with the file on the front sight, and now we want to see how far that moved the group. Okay, 10 strokes of the file only moved us about an inch or so. So that lets me know that I've got quite a bit of filing to do. So I'm going to do about 30 strokes this time and then give it a try. Okay, this will be round 3 with the 7.5-inch Uberti Navy. I've reduced the front sight height by 40 file strokes total now. So we'll see if we've moved the group enough to start to get something meaningful. Okay, that's looking good. We're about 8 inches above our starting point now. So I'm going to take another 40 strokes off the sight. Well, I decided to only take 35 strokes because you can always file more off, but you can't file more on. And I think this is going to get us into the area where we're fine-tuning, where we're closing in on it. But let's see. Okay, we're getting very close now, so we're just going to take a little bit off at a time and get it dialed in. Okay, I took off 10 more strokes, and I'm hoping that either this one or the next one will be the last adjustments I have to make on the Uberti. Let's see. Well, that did the trick. The Uberti's hitting where we want it, and we can move on to the short-barreled Pieta. Okay, I'm going to load up the 4-inch barreled Pieta now. This is the Captain Schaefer from EMF. And the procedure is going to be the same as it was on the 7.5-inch gun. I'm going to be loading paper cartridges. We'll just get them started down here. Short loading lever. I'm going to use this slick arm tool to get it loaded. So this lets you use these little loading levers and you get plenty of leverage on it. So I'm going to load all these chambers up and we're going to go shoot it. Okay, I'm going to take the first shots with the 4-inch barreled Pieta. Now, based on the experience we just had with the Uberti gun, I took 40 strokes off of the sight before even putting it on paper. So I think we should be okay with that, but this should get us a lot closer to start off. Okay, I'm glad I took those 40 strokes off it to start with because we are still way low. Alright, so here's round 2 with the Pieta. I lowered the front sight by another 35 file strokes. Okay, good. That got me about halfway there. Okay, well, we're good on elevation. I'm shooting a little bit to the right. I'm going to have to adjust that. So we'll try that again, and then I think we're there. Okay, I think we're right where we want to be. Well, it's been a long but very productive day here at the range. We've got both of these guns pretty much shooting where they're looking, which is what you want. Now, this was not one of these shootout head-to-head videos. I mean, this was to sight them in, but there are some things that are just inescapable. The Uberti performed exactly as you would want it to. It shot tight groups, it shot consistently, and now it's shooting where it's looking. Outstanding gun. I would say give it a gold medal, but that's what you expect a gun to do when it comes out of the factory, so it's just doing its job. I'd be lying if I didn't let you know I was disappointed with the Pieta. I mean, it's shooting where it's looking now, but of course the groups are like 8 inches across. This is the second Pieta Navy in the last few months that has performed mediocre, really. I don't know why. I noticed that it fouls a lot more heavily than the Uberti does, which leads me to believe that the bore is not as well polished. So I'm going to burnish the bore on this gun, and I'm hoping that helps. Another thing that's going to improve it, and I did this with the Uberti and I should have done it with this, is I should have chamfered the chamber mouths, because it makes it so much easier to seat conical bullets, especially loaded in paper cartridges. And this did not have the chamber mouths chamfered, and the chambers are quite tight, and it was a bear to get it loaded. I'm not going to lie. Whereas I did chamfer these, and this baby loaded slicker than goose poop. So, but that's not the Pietta's fault. I mean, they come from the factory. They both have that same situation. So, believe me, when this guy gets clean tomorrow, he's going to get his chambers chamfered as well. But I like this gun, and you know, a lot of people would say, oh, you just want the Uberti to do better because you're an Uberti guy. Well, that's not really true. I have a lot of Piettas. And the fact is, I wanted this gun, and I paid good money for it, just like you do. I mean, I don't accept freebies or sponsorships, because I want to be able to call balls and strikes like I see them, which is what I'm doing right now. So, I mean, I want this gun to shoot tight groups where it's looking. And I'm going to keep playing around with it because I think it's capable, but it's certainly not there yet. But at least now it's putting them where the sights are looking, you know, in that area of the real estate. So that's a good thing. And it remains beautiful. I know a lot of you guys, when you saw that sight blank originally that was like this high, you thought, oh my God, you're going to ruin the looks of the gun. Well, I think you would agree that really the gun's looks are not at all ruined by this. These sights look very good on them. So I have no issue with that at all. I'm quite happy with it. So, I'll say one other thing. Guys are always cacking at me about Uberti's short arbor situation, which is true. It does have, they all have short arbors, Uberti's do. And a lot of guys cack at me and say, oh, they'll never be capable of getting top-notch accuracy because of that short arbor. Well, maybe that's true. But it's true if we're talking about like international competition, where it might be the difference between an X and a 10. Because I'm here to tell you, I have been shooting these things for 40 years, and from a practical accuracy standpoint of something that a guy like me can notice a difference, I have never noticed any problem with any Uberti gun due to a short arbor. Never, ever. I've had a lot of guys cack about them. And, you know, as you saw today, this guy was turning in 2-inch groups. And this guy that does not have a short arbor was turning in 6 to 8-inch groups. So, you know, there's more going on than that arbor issue. And if it really bothers you, it's a real easy fix. And I think it just demonstrates how it does not bother me that I just don't bother fixing them. Because it's not that hard, but I'm not going to give up a couple hours of my life to do something that is not really going to make any difference, except, you know, virtue signal to people who think that's a problem. So, anyway. But the guns are sighted in now, and I'm quite happy with them. And I can't wait to do a little more playing around with some more interesting targets, which some stuff is going on right now with Duelist Den. Today's the 16th. In 3 days, my lawyers will be in court, and they're working on something, and I don't want to spill the beans. By the time you see this, of course, it will have happened, and I'm hoping in a couple of weeks I can give you guys an update that might have some good news in it. Now it might not, because that's just the nature of of the beast. You know, we don't know if we're going to win. But it won't be the final solution, but maybe I'll have an interim solution in a little while. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. In the meantime, if you like it, thumbs up, make a comment, you know the whole bit. And I'll see you again in about a week. So till then, bye.